You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to or during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, no matter by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real
Warning, this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own two eyes. If you're going to get... Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. And today, continuing hashtag Justice for Bradley, hashtag Justice for AO, Astin O'Banion, and God knows how many other people over there in Vernon Parish. And I have Miss Morgan Baggett on the phone with me. Morgan.
Hello, Woody, and hello, Lifers.
Right. So here's the deal. Last week being Labor Day, then, we didn't drop the episode, but actually that was by design and on purpose for a multitude of reasons. One, let the pot stir. Right. And it did not stop my phone. And Morgan and I have not talked about this. It did not stop my phone from going off the entire time, including 12:30 last night. Well, I think 12:30 was the last call I got last night. It's constantly, the tips are rolling in. Shit's melting and burning parish. We've done some things to, stir the pot that I may talk about on this episode or may not. But justice, I tell you this, let the murderers have enjoyed their last Labor Day outside the wire, meaning not in prison. How about that?
How about that? Because that's something you have told me.
Right.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. So the deal being is, not a lot of people, but some idiots are like, oh, I wish he would just solve the case already. And I'm like, I wish I had your sheriff's office and wish I had everything that they had, and they're getting paid to do it, and that's their jobs and whatever, right? They hadn't solved it. It'll be in 2 months. It'll be 6 years, right, Morgan?
Yes, sir. That's correct. October 30th.
Right. So a little less than 2 months, September, October. It will be 6 years they've had Bradley's case. And then y'all know, because we told you the story, and Morgan's been the biggest advocate, but now the world knows how, she was on board with Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office, Detective Vance, and now they flipped the script from working as a homicide to saying there's no foul play involved. Right?
Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. I wasn't even going to start with this, but let's start with a little something that we did, because I guarantee you Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office already knows. And so one of the things I did, y'all, is last week on Monday, I had my attorney file something with the sheriff's office. I'm pulling it up to read to you, Morgan. Hold on one second.
I told some people about, I was like, I know something, but I don't know everything. And so you're literally about to tell me and everybody about it for the first time together.
Well, so there comes a point in any let me see if I can pull this up right. Hold on. I have the wrong second. There comes a point in any investigation where that is things are certainly not slowed at all, but you're running 100 miles an hour in different directions, and that's exactly what's happening in this case. But one of the things I found out was that shit is being messed with. And I can prove this literally, that meaning people are being messed with. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up my attorney. Hold on 1 second. People are being messed with, and meaning not only potential witnesses, but people that actually work at the Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office are being messed with, and to what extent we're going to find out. And now, what we were told, and I was told numerous times since the beginning when we first started Morgan, and you chime in whenever you want to, we know that Sam Kraft issued a gag order to his employees. If you talk about this case, you're fired. Get it? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. And you heard that also?
Yeah, gag order came pretty early on.
Right.
Thank you.
And
Before.
Go ahead. That's pretty standard. My sheriff would have done it back in the day. Probably not, but the sheriff is the king, right, over his employees. And look, 99% of those people need their jobs, and I get it. But so this shit hot, or I called it an ape, an acute political emergency case comes out, and they're like, nobody talks about this whatsoever at all. First of all, you're hoping it's just going to blow over. Secondly, you're hoping this person that's stirring all this shit up, it doesn't, they can be invalidated, or they can be made to go away, however it may be, right? Hacking all my shit and death threats and what. I'm not saying Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office did that, but they're hoping I would go away. They were really praying last week as a sign that Woody Overton went away. Well, guess what? It's only a sign that I was amping things up. The gag order, you call office meeting, or you tell office supervisors, tell your people, if they mention anything to anyone about Bradley Strassner or Astin O'Banion, they're fired. All right. Well, guess what? Sheriff's office, you're an at-will employee, meaning that they can fire you for, they don't have to have a reason. They could fire you for not liking the way you parted your hair that day. Okay. So much less violating the gag order they give you. Now, the gag order is one thing. I get it. But then I started hearing different things, and you started hearing different things also. Morgan, tell them without mentioning names or whatever, tell them what it is that you heard, and we'll talk about how I hadn't even told you that I'd been hearing the same thing yet, and we'll talk about when you asked me what such and such meant. I already knew there had to be some teeth to this, but go ahead, you tell me.
Well, unbeknownst to me, you had been hearing the same thing, but from multiple sources, and like you said, without saying who, I had started hearing about something called an NDA. And when I first mentioned it to you, you basically said, I need to know who, what, when, where, specifics right now, because, this could literally be national news.
Yeah, right. So when she told me that, I had actually heard that an NDA, y'all, that stands for non-disclosure agreement. That is a legal document that's written up by a lawyer, and you have to, 9 times out of 10, somebody's getting paid to sign an NDA, right? So you sue, let's say a football player sues the New Orleans Saints for whatever, and the Saints know that they're kind of in the wrong, but they just really want to go away, but they don't ever want you to talk about it and bring it to public to harm their image, right? So a non-disclosure agreement, they would be worded in there, you can never say anything about this. If you do, you will be sued, or whatever it may say. I don't know what this proposed NDA would say, but I would expect it would be something along the lines of, if you talk about Bradley Strassner, Astin O'Banion, then now this is in black and white from a lawyer. All right, it's a legal binding document. Then we can sue you. I don't think they're going to sue any of their employees because they're not making that much money anyway. But you'll be immediately terminated, and you've been warned. Blah blah blah. Do what I was trying to find out, and you didn't know about was, and I didn't think it would be a sheriff's office wide issue. I mean, they're not going to get everybody in the world to sign an NDA. Basically, it's kind of forcing you to sign an NDA because they know you need your job. But if you don't plan on doing anything that's against the NDA anyway, you're going to sign it, right? Or like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll sign that. I mean, I can just keep my mouth shut. I don't have to say anything. And but if you're signing that and something that is detrimental to the sheriff's office, and you've been presented with a legal NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and saying, you sign this, you're agreeing to X, Y, and Z in these terms. If you violate them, this is the recourse action we have against you, whether it's civil or firing you or both, a combination of, I don't know what it says. Go ahead. Huh?
Do they have a choice, or is it like a requirement?
Well,
do you have the right to not sign it?
That is a great question, right? See, the sheriff's office, you can refuse to sign it, and guess what? They can fire you for you didn't have your shoe tied. They don't have to say they're firing you for not signing an NDA. In non-disclosure agreement. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's catch fucking 22. If you sign the document, we got you. If you don't sign it, we got you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, lose-lose situation.
Yeah. Anyway, so without saying names or whatever, or giving away any specifics that would give it away, tell me about you started to look into it. Tell me about what you found out about NDAs or them being presented, what have you.
Well, I Googled it right away, and I was talking about it with a family member, and I was like, this feels just huge, like detrimental, like something about it is just so bad and so off. I started asking more questions to the people, multiple sources who was telling me about it. And I asked specific questions like, did only a small circle have to sign it, or was it everyone? And so word got back to me that it was everyone, like as in every person employed with Verdon Parish Sheriff's Department or office had to or was asked to sign an NDA, very specific to the case that we harp on all the time.
Yeah. And I found that hard to believe. I don't believe if I was a sheriff, I don't believe I'd be dumb enough to make everybody sign it, because you can give the gag order, right? But if you make everybody sign it, people come and go at the sheriff's office like Walmart employees. Then if you get fired or something happens or whatever, then you can run out and say, "Oh, they forced me to sign an NDA." So I was questioning on that end, but what I was not questioning when you hit me up and you said they are saying they are being forced to sign or made to sign an NDA. What is an NDA? I already knew what the fuck it was. I was like, holy fuck. And I had heard, but I wasn't able to verify yet, right? And NDA, you can't, a general person doesn't know, like you didn't, right? A general person doesn't know what an NDA stands for. All right. I've lived through them. I've dealt with them throughout my career, not in law enforcement and other areas. And so I immediately knew what it was. But go ahead.
Long before the NDA was ever mentioned to me, somebody reached out to me who works, we'll just say on the strip of downtown Leesville, where the courthouse, the the sheriff's office, all that is, all the lawyers' offices. And this person said to me, Morgan, when you first came out on TikTok, everybody, everywhere, every day was talking about Bradley and Astin and Morgan Baggett. And then one day we all showed up to work and nobody said another word about it. And you and I actually had talked about that, and you said, well, that's probably where the gag order came in.
Right.
That's when the gag order, he was like, you better not go anywhere and talk about this, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I could also see as we further told the story that, and especially your naming, like Vance and how Vance used you or confided in you until the point where Astin O'Banion was found dead, and now we can prove otherwise. And the sheriff told the family she didn't have a mark on her, and he told you she didn't have a mark on her, and we proved otherwise on that. I would think and I know from good, legitimate people, business owners and stuff, that Vance used to tell them stuff, and they're not saying anything now. I think that you have to excuse that. That's my brothers and sisters are here, meaning the dogs. My mom is out of town, so I'm keeping them, and they're outside my studio. But I think that it comes a point where they realize, oh shit, gag order. And now, of course, I'm speculating. Gag order is good for everybody, but now we're finding out all the shit that's been said already, and we may be liable for some of it, right? Especially, let's just hypothetically say that Astin O'Banion, which Vance told you she passed her polygraph. He told numerous other people that told me themselves, and I'm not mentioning names, that she absolutely passed it, and she knew exactly what she was talking about on Bradley's case, which is, what did she say? Who was there? Let's go ahead and throw that out again. You do it.
Jason McDaniel, Danielle Gibson, and Justin Charbonneau. That is what David Vance told me.
And who shot Bradley?
David Vance told me that Astin O'Banion told him that Justin Charbonneau shot Bradley twice in the chest.
Right. Okay. And again, that's what David Vance told you. You're not making it up. You're not. You didn't pick Justin Charbonneau's name out of the air, right?
I never heard Charbonneau's name until it came out of David Vance's mouth. Never once in 4 years heard Justin Charbonneau's name before David.
Yeah, well, I bet it's not coming out of David Vance's mouth now. Although, as y'all know, because you've been listening to the podcast, after we did that episode, Justin Charbonneau immediately blew me up the next day, and I was like, hey, I responded to him. I was like, hey, this is what's being said about you. I didn't make your name up, right? And then we got on the podcast and got him to record, and he's, according to his own self, and we're going to get into that, and maybe not on this episode, but according to his own self, he's off living the good life for Jesus and the Lord and all that, right? So I think that I don't think that Sam Kraft knew everything that had been said and everything that had been done, all the information, which should have been, any investigator would have never divulged their hands. That's why I don't say shit to anybody. That's why I don't say shit to you, because I'm playing my cards close to my vest, because I got to figure out which ones I want to hold and which ones I want to fold, right? So I think NDA, and it's total speculation, y'all, but I think NDA definitely is more targeted at specific individuals. Like that, you say something else, right? And this way we can cover ourselves if you say anything else that's liable for us and what have you and whatnot. But it came from too many different sources. And then when it got kicked up from gag order to NDA, you just don't pick, just like Justin Charbonneau's name, you don't pick that word magically out of the air, right?
Yeah, I wondered that. Like, I've wondered that so many times. Would David Vance have had permission to tell me what he told me?
I could tell you, I don't know what their rules are over there, but there's no way in hell I would have told you a quarter of the stuff that he told you. But it wasn't just you. I have other people that he's told face to face, and these are legitimate people. These are people, good citizens, upstanding citizens that want to remain anonymous, and they shall. Tell me all this stuff unsolicited. I didn't ask for them to call me up and tell me, and it is what it is. But that being incompetence or whatever it may be, it is what it is. And y'all, if you could had an iota of how much shit I have on everybody in Vernon Parish, everybody wants to tell on everybody, all the bad people, and everything from crazy stuff like this person's got a baby with this person and this person is this. I'm serious. The call last night at 12:30 was about this high-ranking official has an illegitimate child. It's all up involved in your case, and that's why they're getting cover and da-da-da-da. Well, you know what? Now I got to look into it, which is fine. But let's go back to the NDA. You got to the effect of pushing around, digging around, trying to find one person that would actually confirm that they had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, right? And the closest I could get is, you know what? Wait until I'm no longer employed at the sheriff's office, and I'll tell you everything, right? Because the NDA wouldn't be valid or what have you. I guess they think that. Yes, from their family members directly, absolutely, my significant other had to sign one, right? That doesn't mean it's true. Just saying what's been pushed and what comes back. And I'm not giving up any sources or anything else. I'm on point, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
All right. So what do I do? I'm thinking about it about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. Let's just fire a shot across the bow and see what they say. So I called my attorney, who's I'm going to give his name because he is the ultimate bulldog, Thomas Davenport, and he's out of the Rapides Parish area. Okay. And we've been working together, Tommy and I have, for years. And he's also a professor at law school and stuff like that. But before he became my personal attorney, I used to do a lot of criminal defense work. Hold on. Sorry. Let me turn this ringer off. You there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. If I could turn that off without silence. All right. The boom. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Tommy and I worked together for a long time before I actually needed him for something, and he handled it. And he's like the best. He's like the bomb.com on steroids. He's a bulldog. I call him my bulldog. And so I call him, and I had 2 questions for him. One I'm not going to go into today, but it pertains to I'll tell you, it pertains to engine and public records. How about that? And so there's something else that we're working on the side of that. But I told him, I said, Tommy, tell him we're talking about the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement, and the gag order and what have you. And he said, you know what? Why don't we just ask him? I said, what you got on your mind, Tommy? And he said, I'm gonna just ask him. And so this is what he did, and this is how he asked him. And I'm gonna read this letter from him to y'all, because I know they have it because they got it hand delivered and they had to sign for it, and they got it emailed to them. So it says the Davenport firm, a professional law corporation. It's dated August 25th, 2025, and is originally submitted via facsimile, or whatever, fax or whatever. I don't know what that means. 337-238-4987. And it's to Sheriff John Sam Craft, Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office, 1203 South 4th Street, Leesville, Louisiana, 71496. And RE, and in dark bold, public records request. Now, Tommy's a genius, and you'll understand at the end. Then it says, Dear Sheriff Craft, pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 44:1 ET SEQ, please accept this letter as a public records request for a copy, any non-disclosure agreements / contracts, confidentiality agreements / contacts, or any agreements / contracts that prevent deputies or any staff of the Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office to disclose any information or facts related to the Sheriff's Office and or any cases, parentheses, past, cold, or current cases, close parentheses, investigated by the Sheriff's Office. Furthermore, I am requesting all of the above material pursuant to the Louisiana Public Records Doctrine, the Louisiana Freedom of Information Act, and any other law that enables one to acquire your records. Should you have any questions or concerns, please contact me at the number and address indicated on this letterhead. Once these materials have been compiled, please forward those documents or other materials along with your invoice. Your cooperation is very much appreciated. Further, should any of the requests made herein be unclear, confusing, or misunderstood, please contact me immediately. Should you have any questions, comments, or be in need of additional information, please feel free to call upon me without hesitation. Thank you. With high esteem, best wishes, and personal regards, I'm respectfully yours, Thomas Davenport, Jr., Attorney at Law. All right, so what does that boil down to? I was just thinking about Bradley and AO's case. Tommy has, and rightfully so, because it belongs to all of us, the public. Tommy has requested any type of anything that the sheriff has done in the history of the sheriff's office. So they nope.
Not years worth, but
Yeah.
period ever.
Right. And now I'm sure they're going to come back and hit me with a $25,000 or $50,000 bill to send stuff on a thumb drive, but that's fine and be whatever. And I'll have to go through all of it. But don't you think that they might not send anything at all?
Yeah, I guess they have that option, huh?
Well, they do.
Many FOIA requests.
The you know what though? They are a law enforcement public agency. They have a duty to uphold the law, and that means all aspects of the law, including public information requests, including most public information requests, y'all, are for like case files or, whatever. This is for any document that any employee or deputy, because there's differences, secretaries that aren't deputies and shit like that, that anybody that works under Sam Craft has ever signed, that guess what? It's public record. And I'm sure we're going to have to go to court over this. I'm sure their lawyer is laid a gold brick in his drawers and is going to be like, we're going to fight this because then the lawyers make money, right? Well, I told Tommy, my lawyer, I said, Tommy, you're not going to be welcome. You're going to be like me. You're going to be banned from Vernon Parish. He said, I don't give a. He said, and Tommy doesn't. He'll go anywhere and fight anybody. That's kind of lawyer you want to have, right? So that was submitted on August the 25th. And today is what, September 2nd? Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I thought you said July 25th.
So it's been submitted over a week ago, and we've got a whole bunch of crickets thus far. Not even a response, not even a acknowledgement of receipt, right?
Well, my world, that's all I've experienced crickets from them for a while now. Pretty much ever since Astin O'Banion was murdered, not overdose, murdered, it's been crickets from them for me.
Yeah. Well, but Vance told you, and I'm just repeating what Vance told you, that you told me that Austin's story, it's just another overdose, and her story died with her.
Yep. Died with her. It was an unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they knew the hours and hours of conversations that I have every single minute up to the allegedly when the last people that were with her, and then just magically she's found in a condition she's in. Bullshit. Oh, and by the way, she didn't have a scratch on her. Bullshit. Right. And
to me exactly was she was fucking brutalized.
Yeah. Well, I told you that. Yeah. What I'm looking at the pictures, she definitely had tons on her. But that came from, I'm not gonna say who actually has been dealing with dead bodies for a long time. That person said, that is one of the worst I've ever seen. But she didn't have a scratch on her. And the cartel comment that you made to me, that Sam Kraft, the sheriff, the high sheriff, made to her, Austin's daddy, that in the same breath, right? She's dead. It's an overdose. Didn't have a scratch on her, and the cartel's not involved. Well, who in the fuck would have ever thought of the cartel being in the Little Vernon Parish, right? Well, then we proved it on Ross's case that he's got busted and proven to be in the RICO statute, the racketeering influence corrupt organization clause that the government uses to process mafia and shit, that, Sam Kraft wrote Ross a letter because he was there being a good trustee and welding shit and doing whatever. Somebody even told me, I don't know if I told you this, Morgan, that he built the fence around Sam Kraft's home and put his initials in welding marks or something at the bottom of the fence, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just saying he was being a good boy, getting shit done for the sheriff's office. Sheriff writes him a letter, knows what his charges are because Ross appealed it, and it's in the appeal, it all gets made to be public record. So, but I don't know. And then so Sonola, and it specifically was Sonola Cartel.
He welded a lot of things for a lot of people during his time of air quote incarceration.
Yeah.
And he got paid very well for it. And he's doing mighty fine from what I can see.
Yeah. Well, I did watch his parole hearing, and they offered him, like towards the end of the sentence, they offered him 6 months. I don't think I told you this. They offered him 6 months, based on the fact that he leave the whatever prison he was at and go into a drug rehab program. And he was like, then I'm going to get out. And they'd be like, yeah, based upon you completing this advanced drug treatment program. And he was like, no, I think I'll stay here because he was doing work, right? He's doing work release and he's making money, good money. So the dude's out. God bless him. He served his time. Great for him. He just got, unfortunately, involved in the story because it is what it is. But back to it, on, this public information request, whatever. We're going to see what happens. It's been a week. I think it's okay. We announce it publicly. Give them something else to talk about. Now, I would like to believe that law enforcement would abide by the rule of the law and turn over their shit. Do I think it's going to happen? It's going to be really, really interesting. Right?
I was told, this is kind of derailing, but I was told specifically by someone who works at the Social Security office. We know Bradley's murdered. We know he's dead. We know he's never coming back. I'm a single mom. I'm struggling to take care of my children. And I was told by someone at the Social Security office that we would have to find Bradley's remains, or their proof would have to be provided beyond reasonable doubt that Bradley is deceased. And with one or both of those things, we could start receiving death benefits to help me with his son and, financially.
Right.
And they have made it next to impossible. There have been 4 or 5, to my knowledge, FOIA requests for Bradley's case file so that I could go ahead and file for death benefits, a legal presumption of death. And they're doing anything but helping me do that.
Yeah. Well, you're a big ass thorn in their side, and I wouldn't expect them to help you. You would expect someone to help you, but remember now, y'all, if you hadn't been caught up or whatever, Vance went from serving search warrants and interrogating people and all that shit to now saying, what was it? He did a press release or what was it? And he said, oh, we don't even think there's any foul play here. He just goes off in the woods sometimes, right? 6 fucking years. Yeah. And no transactions. Yeah. So all right, what I do want to do is I want to read you something. I didn't know who Justin Charbonneau was, but you know what? Woody Overton is nobody's bitch. Okay. And I let Mr. Charbonneau have his say, believe him, took him at face value for what he told me and everything else. Great. And y'all all heard it on Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And then he and I messed a couple times after that or whatever. And then I didn't hear from him for a while. But see, I have so much different social media, so many different places for people, like 15 different places where people can reach out to me, but I don't check them all the time. And one of them is Facebook Messenger. So I'll give you on August the 21st at 8:29 a.m. And now I missed this message. I go back and I'll tell you exactly what the date was because this is a time frame. It's the longest fucking message in the world. So I actually responded to him on the 23rd, but there's another message that came in on the 23rd. But on the 21st, and on my honor, I did not read this, did not know this was there. He said, Mr. Woody, this is from Justin Charbonneau's Facebook account with his picture looking at me. August 21st at 8:29 a.m. Mr. Woody, I'm sorry I haven't gotten to you sooner to give you this. My father has been in hospice and passed away to be with the Lord yesterday, but you crossed my mind because my other phone broke and you asked me if you ever had questions or needed help to call or text. So here's my new number. I pray all is well with you, sir. God bless. And he gives me his number, right? Now that's on August 21st. I have not read this. On August the 23rd, it's like 10 o'clock at night, I get around to reading my Facebook Messenger. But at 4:26 p.m., and y'all stay tuned because this is going to take up the rest of the show for sure. At August 23rd, at 4:26 p.m., and I'm reading this from his Facebook account, so Justin, you sue if you want to. The first of all, y'all, my daddy died this on 4 months ago to the day that I received this message. Okay. So anyway, it says, say, brother, I'm texting right now. So it may seem like one big run on sentence, but enough is enough. You know, I'm a peaceful man. And the other day they got on Facebook and they had a picture of me in Lake Charles, Louisiana with people from Lake Charles and them stating that Astin O'Banion was in that truck or whatnot, and that who was in the truck with her, and all these people have went mad. The people that's in that picture, first of all, can prove to you is not her there, still here with us, but it's about to push me to the point, man, to where I'm really upset back, and I'll shut up, bro. I sit back and I have shut up. And for you not to even, now he does this 5 times, the same statement, back to Justin's statement. And I have shut up. And for you not to even say my condolences about my father passing away seems to me like you got your mind in the same mix. So let me go ahead and tell you something, Mr. Woody. Give me a lie detector test. Do whatever y'all got to do. But I also, another nail in the coffin, if you want to call it that, is that I never met Jason, who is the other guy that they said I was with until November of 2020, and that I have proof of. So there's no way I could ever been in association with Jason McDaniels with her. So if y'all would use y'all's common sense and really think about this, think about it real, real hard, bro. His mom and them were making counterfeit money. Think about that they were making counterfeit money, buying dope, the same mom that keeps hollering this and hollering that and trying to get everything away from her. So that's the word on the streets, and that's the biggest word on the streets. And now they're starting to go to my stuff and pull up pictures, and really what they're doing now is making themselves look like a fool. Like I said,
I'm a peaceful man, bro, and I've let it go by and I've let it slide. And there's so many people out there right now. They're like, Justin, what are they talking about? Because you know what really went on with all that his mom and them are freaking got him caught up with the bikers or whoever they gave that counterfeit money to. So, man, you just come and sense. I just really wish you would, bro. And for you not to say anything about my dad passing away and my condolences and everything like that, it really shows what type of character you have, sir. It's not a good one. So if you want to go ahead and side with the people that most likely are the ones that caused it, then go ahead, man. And for you not to say anything about my dad passing away, bro, that's common courtesy. And that really shows what type of character you have, man. So, you know, I have not a thing to hide, or I wouldn't even be talking to you. I would be making bold statements as I'm making, because what's going to happen is y'all are going to look like a complete fool, because underneath the surface of it all, you have nothing. It is no connection with me with these people, bro. None whatsoever. Only, like I told you, only one time I met Bradley was inside a prison. One time outside of that, I never seen that man. It says smell Banyan out of her freaking top. I'm laughing at myself of the stupidity of this investigation that everybody has going on. But I got ironclad proof, other than me messing up thinking I was locked up at the time that I was in Lake Charles at the time, that I never met Jason McDaniels until after the fact. Never met him a day before my life. So, bro, I can really start, if it's public record and all this other, that, yeah. But listen, whenever people are cleared of charges like Jason was, and now they're just trying to throw my name under the bus, knows that's not going to happen. I'm tired of it. I moved on from my life from Leesville, Louisiana. It's because they gossip and they have nothing else better to do. And the ones that's barking the loudest is the ones that needs to be chained up. And I'm telling you right now, his mother got him caught up in some dumb crap. And I hate that with all my heart. I hate that, but I prayed about this, and I have prayed about this, and I have prayed about this, and God has given me the peace to let you know that this is going far enough, and for you just not to say anything about my dad again. I keep talking about that. You didn't say at all my condolences or nothing. That just goes to show where you stand in this also, but you'll be made to look like a fool too, bro. I've been nothing but nice to you. I'll try to cooperate with you, and everything else are in the sun. I pray they get Bradley's murders. I pray in heaven above that they do, but it ain't this partner. It ain't me. I'm telling you, that right now, you have a lovely, blessed day, sir. Don't say anything, okay? This is the message he sends me one day after the message about his dad, which I did not read on my honor. I didn't even know when I read this big long message, I didn't know that message was up there. I had to go back and read it. So this is what I respond. August 23rd at 5:25 p.m. So maybe I read it right after. But I said, dude, I almost never check these messages. My dad died 4 months ago yesterday and was my best friend. So I understand what you're going through, and my condolences. As far as questioning my character, go fuck yourself. I'm a Christian, not a pacifist. And I've never said a word about you to anyone since we recorded. People posting pics of stuff are the ones you should direct your hatred to. And you being a self-proclaimed man of Jesus, know that hate is not orchestrated by him. I get 100 messages on everything from this to text to my app and all social media every day. If I missed your dad passing message or I read it and it didn't register, then again, my condolences. Don't put your anger towards others on me. I'm conducting homicide investigations, not Justin Charbonneau investigations. I'm not mad at you, but you and I are done. I have zero time for negativity. Have a nice life. So that was my response to him, and he can't go fuck himself. It's, I'm making a public record. He sent it to me, and he shouldn't have. But he called me out 5 times about his dad, and then I went back and read the message about his dad passing. I hate that. I hate that for anybody. But don't get on a kick and tell me 5 different times I'm a piece of shit because I didn't say anything about your daddy. But meanwhile, you're throwing all this stuff out about Bradley. You never met him. You didn't know Astin O'Banion. The pictures from Lake Charles and truck. I didn't post any of that shit. Somebody tagged me in that. Didn't know who it was. I didn't say anything about it, whether it was or wasn't. If whatever, that I didn't do it. Right? I'm conducting hashtag justice for Bradley, hashtag justice for Astin O'Banion, and wherever else it may go. It is Detective David Vance that put it in his mouth to Morgan Baggett that Astin O'Banion said it, and then passed the polygraph. He told numerous people, so I imagine he told other people, and speculation that he told other people the same thing, word for word. And he's the one that said, Astin said, you shot somebody in the stomach twice. I didn't make it up. I don't know who the fuck you are. So I'm not your bitch. And you do what you want to do. And my investigation is going to go where it goes. And I can tell you this, the motherfuckers that did this, that murdered Bradley and Astin O'Banion, you spent your last Labor Day free. I hope you enjoyed that weekend, whoever you may be. And you know who you are. I know who you are.
What? That's wild, Woody. Like, there's this, he was right in saying that, excuse my fault to Texas, one run on thing. Man.
Hey, you know what's crazy AF? I forgot you were on the phone. I was reading. I was out all down into the podcast, and I don't want Cindy to edit this out. And I heard it scared the shit out of me. I had set the phone down, and you said what? And I was like, but anyway, I mean, come on, man, get the fuck out of here, right? I didn't make this shit up, and you calling in, I didn't intentionally not say anything about your father. I've been busy as fuck, and like you said on your TikTok, Daddy's been running and gunning, right? But
we're not consumed by guilt or fear, that we live our lives. And look, he said this, I have this on a message, screenshots after screenshots sent to me.
By him or someone else?
No, it's messages between him and other people. But this one in particular says, straight from Justin, and he keeps reiterating how good of buddies him and Soundcraft is. I mean, that's all he's been saying. He even said, I talked to Soundcraft the other day in the podcast.
He actually sent me that in the first message. After we dropped that episode that day, he was like, I'm going to go talk to Sam now or whatever, but implying, but what you're about to read is, we're assuming, and I have to assume this came from Justin Charbonneau's shit because it has his picture and it's where all this other information we had contact through, and he gave me his phone number and all that. So what you're about to read, we're assuming that it's his shit, but go ahead.
It is, and I can prove it, and we'll, if and when that day comes.
Right.
Soundcraft told, this is per Justin Charbonneau, Soundcraft told my mother to tell me congratulations. Does that sound like they're hunting me down?
Mm-hmm. That's in a message somebody sent you, right?
A screenshot. Yep.
Yeah, there you have it. And like I said, you want to come against me for anything I've said, I'll take you to court. And Thomas Davenport will take you to court. And the investigations, this is what this is truly about. But it's kind of a catch-up week too, and let people know that there's a lot of shit going on. All right, and we're not going to stop, not even on the legal side. You're not going to stonewall me on this. I'm gonna outthank you, and I'm gonna hit you. There's something else legally that's being done that I'm not going to give up yet. I'm going to hit you in ways that you haven't thought of. Okay, that's unfortunate for you. That my OCD is I can't turn my brain off. Now the Justin Charbonneau thing, it is what it is. I don't give a shit about that dude. Wish him well if he's involved in it, and Astin O'Banion is telling the truth, and David Vance is telling the truth, and all that. Well, you know what? Old saying, everything done in darkness comes to light. I'm not telling you what I know or don't know at this point. I can tell you that. You, Morgan, or anybody else, because I'm not playing my cards, and I'm building homicide investigations people. This is on a podcast, but it's homicide investigations. Bradley's been dead almost 6 years. Austin's been gone for numerous years, and they haven't been solved to this point for a reason. Okay. But
No,
justice
it
is
wasn't
coming.
solvable, but like you
No,
said,
fuck no. And it's absolutely solvable. And the thing is, the more y'all talk about it, look, I think people think I'm being fucking dramatic. I sat down last night because I save all the voicemails that I get. And I sat down last night. It's just page after page after page. And some of it's the craziest shit in the world, but some of it is actually legit and some of it's repeat information, page after page after page. Because when you call the tip line, I'm not answering if I don't know who you are. After you leave your message, if I call you back and we establish a relationship, then I'll put you in my phone, right? But that's how it works. I'm not answering because there's a lot of people calling trying to give me bullshit, or the meth heads love to call me at 3:00 in the morning and ramble on for a fucking hour about nothing till the voicemail cuts them off, right? And you can tell they're high. So I'm not going to answer those calls. But the case is being worked, and I'm never going to get off of it. Ever. Hashtag justice for Bradley. Hashtag justice for AO. If you're involved, I didn't make you do it, but I'm gonna prove that you did it. There you have it. So, Morgan, I know we got so much more that we could say. We had a whole nother topic we wanted to get on today about y'all, and let's just go ahead and throw it out there, Morgan. So this is the second week. Of course, we took last week off, but so it's been 3 weeks that we've been wanting to talk about this other topic, which is very important and very relevant for the case. But y'all, it has to do, without saying anything else about it, it has to do with photographs and different things that have come through light through the investigation.
yeah, those pictures and videos are posted on Facebook. I posted the one video and a couple of different pictures, and I just posted the question, what do y'all think about this? What are your thoughts and opinions on this? So where these pictures came from was a game camera, an SD card that was given to David Vance, to the sheriff's office, the detective, and so according to Bradley's girlfriend at the time, Chelsea, said that Jason and Danielle gave this game camera to her, and Chelsea just happened to look at the pictures on it and was like, what, WTF, basically. And she felt that it was strange enough and suspicious enough to turn this over to the sheriff's office. I asked David Vance about it, and he said, there's nothing on there. He straight up said, there is nothing on there. Well, according to other people, multiple people who saw what was on the SD card, they said there was literally like 600 pictures on there. And you can clearly see in the video in one of the pictures.
We're going to say that for next week. And there's a reason. Okay. So y'all, we're going to leave that segue. We're going to get into the videos and the pictures. And guess what, Morgan? I have not told you this. I have pictures and things that you do not have. I have pictures and things that, if it's not a crime scene, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Okay. Well, I can't give it up because I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want them to have the full knowledge to try to hide shit. And that's the truth. And I'm never going to do anything to jeopardize an investigation or a prosecution. But I am in full effect and in full belief that someone is about to flip. And I think I already know who, but I'm not going to say anything, but it doesn't matter. Someone is going to flip. And you know what, people? I haven't even been to Vernon Parish yet. Fuck. I hadn't put boots on the ground. That's coming. But every day I get something new. When I exhaust all the things that I have to do here, all you that want to meet me face to face and everything else and all that, it's going to be done. And then I'm going to tie it all up in a big bow and give it to the powers that be. And that'll be towards the end when I get done doing what I'm doing, but I'm not there. And it's still coming, and I'm still getting more stuff every day. Y'all call it in 313-RLRC tip. And Morgan, I hadn't done a TikTok in a couple of weeks. I'm about to do one when we get off. And I'm going to announce that this is going to come out. Sydney's going to edit it as fast as she can. It might be midnight tonight. I don't know, but it's definitely coming out on Thursday for Patreon and convicts, and everybody else is going to get it on, I guess Saturday morning or Sunday morning. But I'm going to do a TikTok about it and let them know, haven't gone away. Just getting started. Okay. And I'm sorry to cut you off on the picture and video stuff, but that's a whole different ball of wax. Today, NDAs, gag order, understand, non-disclosure agreement, and we're going to find out, or we're going to find, guess what? We'll find out, or nothing comes back, and then they don't know if I already have someone that's told me that they've signed an NDA. But if it comes back and you say, we don't have, and we never had an NDA, don't have anything, and I already got proof, well, then you're injuring public records. And I'm not saying that they are. God bless the good people of Vernon Parish. It seems like I'm down in Vernon Parish. I'm going to tell you, there are way many more good people, great people that I'm dealing with than the shitheads. And
Can you say Grace?
Can I what?
Can you say Nancy Grace?
Oh, that you know what? It will be so ridiculous that, I mean, I'm not doing it for that by any means or reason, but if the people don't play by the rules, then that means everybody. And I'm throwing shade on everybody at the sheriff's office. There are way more people there than bad. And I'm not saying that any of them are dirty or murderers or whatever. Wouldn't do that, right? I believe. But fuck it, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and it's gonna go exactly where it's gonna go. And to think about this, all the cases I turned down with the good lily white victims, and now I've got two that are high risk lifestyles, to say the least, and with histories and everything else. Why would you take on those cases? Because God wanted you to, and your people kept reaching out and doing whatever. And then I saw what I saw, and I was like, let's roll. So that being said, Morgan, I love you. Thank you for being on. Y'all, I got some more shocking stuff that Morgan doesn't know about, not just videos and pictures. I got other people, a person that's going to come on the show. It's going to trip all y'all out, but that's going to be probably 2 weeks. But anyway, Morgan, you got anything else?
No, Woody. I'm just I'm getting emotional right now. I'm just so thankful for you. And I thank you, and I thank God.
Yes.
I fought this for a long time all by myself.
I'm sorry, sweet.
I knew what I knew, and I didn't know if I would ever receive this much help, but oh my God.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, and I hate to see anybody cry, but I'm not sorry for the fight.
It's sadness, but it's relief, Woody.
Yeah.
It's
Well, we're not done, and we're going to keep fighting no matter what happens. Okay. And, you know why? Because what if Bradley was my brother or my son, or Austin was my daughter or my sister or my mother or daddy, whatever? Everybody deserves justice. And you standing up all these years, carrying the torch, and God knows that's a story within itself. An ex-wife carrying the torch, right? And so most exes, everybody knows about an ex, right? But whatever. Thank you for carrying the torch. We're going to keep fighting, keep moving on. Y'all keep calling your tips, keep talking about it. Believe that it's being worked. Believe that things are going down, but there'll be no wine before it's time. And Morgan, I love you very much, and just keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and lifers, all y'all out there that listen to this, we love y'all. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. Until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door.